Welcome back, guys. My name is Demitry Sebastian.
And I'm Wes Kendall.
And we are back in session where your fitness and lifestyle questions are answered and bro science is put to the test. Welcome back, everyone. We took a little bit of time off. It has been a crazy couple of weeks.
Yes,
I was taken over by the military for a week and then some change. And then you were out in Hawaii, right?
Yes, took a vacation, first one since COVID stuff happened. And,
Yep.
We went to Hawaii for a week, which was a lot of fun. A lot of, very decadent food, you could say.
Yeah, see, I was thinking like it was going to be like all poi, all like pork wrapped in leaves, very healthy.
No, it's like breaded, gravy, fried, all that.
Did you eat any spam?
No, there was spam options. I know that's like a popular breakfast thing, but we kind of just did breakfast at our place because it was easy to save money. Mm-hmm. So then we can go and have like a big dinner or whatever.
Did you do like Airbnb?
It was a timeshare, actually.
Oh, wait, do you have a timeshare or do you know someone has a timeshare?
Nicole's mom has a timeshare.
Okay, I think my mom has a timeshare in Sedona, and I've been meaning to take advantage of that, but
yeah.
Besides the point.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's super cool, man. Lots of hiking and stuff, or mostly beach slaying?
Both.
Good. How many days were you there again?
7 full 7 days.
7 days. That's like the way to do it. I feel like that's the way to do it.
Yeah, if the gyms were open, it would be perfect. But
yeah, it gives you the ability to like fully absorb the time there, because I feel like a lot of times it's like travel, you're there for 2 days, and by the time you finally got in flow going, you're back. But it's better than like going to like Disneyland for too long, where it starts to feel like work. It's like, okay, I've been here for like 3 days. I want to leave.
You can't stay in lines for more than 2 days.
No. You're just island culture, beautiful, fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then it was also your birthday recently.
Yep, turned 32. I had to figure out how old I was for a second, but
Not a day over 28. It all stopped right there. Or 29. That's what all the older women say. It's like I'm turning 29.
21 for the 11th time.
Exactly.
That's how I like to say.
And then also, for those of you that know, Wes is now a part of the Crocs Nation. I'm spreading the good word.
Whether I wanted to be or not.
It's not a choice. It's a lifestyle. Some people are just born this way, and everyone I know is now, because every single birthday is going to involve Crocs.
They should give you a discount code.
They should.
Yeah.
Sponsor me. I'm out here working for you. I've actually been seeing people wearing it at the gym more and more, which I don't know if I agree with that at all. These are not a stable platform.
Yeah.
But it's better than the people who wear flip-flops to the gym. That's the newer one I've been going to.
It's all these competitors because they're like practicing their posing and they have the tans and stuff like that. They're like, oh, I'm going to wear my slips, my flats.
That I'm actually supportive of. Yeah. That's different, because once you get to a certain level of strength / like shreddedness, I don't presume that I'm allowed to tell you how to live your life. It's the college kids. It's like there's like a guy there wearing like regular shorts, kind of more fashionable t-shirt, like a Supreme t-shirt. It's always like a gold chain, and then they're wearing flip-flops.
Yeah,
and
slides, right?
Yep.
Slides.
And like they'll be spotting their buddy, and they'll kick their flip-flops off to make sure that they can spot them properly. And I'm just like, I know this is not like, I don't touch the floor. I'm not worried about like getting MRSA or some weird stuff, but like, don't do that. That's weird. Keep your toes in.
There's this UK bodybuilder who made it famous to wear slides in the gym, because he'll go in there and like deadlift 600 pounds with the slides. So.
You know what? They're not him. They're not.
Yeah.
Until you're blowing out muscles doing hardcore numbers.
Yeah.
I don't accept it. And I'm sure there's a liability issue there. And MRSA is real, ringworm, stuff like that. It's all gross. Don't touch the floor. So today we're actually going to be doing mostly listener questions.
Yes,
and
got a few
just kind of around the
it's
gym.
been a while.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to catch up on this. We don't get enough of these. I'm going to be putting it out on the Instagram. I'm going to be putting out for more of these, because these are actually my favorites, because you guys ask better questions than topics we think of, because they're
topics we should be talking about anyways.
Exactly. They're off the wall sometimes, but every once in a while there'll be one where I'm just like, I don't even really know where that comes from. So let's just go and start off the top.
Okay.
This was a great question, because I feel like a lot of people are counterintuitive on it, because we talk about keeping your diet simple, right? Why can't you eat just one protein?
Well, because your body has things called enzymes, and they have a certain amount, and it produces a certain amount of enzymes based on the foods that you eat normally. And they produce like only so much of it at one time. It's kind of like, you only produce like so much spit in your mouth at once, It's like, I guess that's the easiest way I can describe it. And then what happens is, if you say you just eat chicken all day and you're like, I'm going to get all my protein, which, you're trying to eat a athletic amount of protein.
Yep.
Then if you just eat chicken, you'll run out of those enzymes and you'll stop processing it well, you'll start to get digestive issues, especially in your stomach, and like problems like digesting the food, and you'll get a lot of heartburn and like diarrhea type things.
Gut biome is a word I really love, because I think that the nutrition people don't touch on it enough.
Yeah.
Because if you're just eating chicken, was exactly what I was thinking, because I think a lot of people are like, okay, chicken, broccoli, rice.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat
just that
chicken and rice in the morning, then I'm going to eat chicken. And they just think like, if I keep it simple, especially if you have like issues with food, like if I keep it really simple, make it a really narrow field, like that actually makes a lot of sense. But your body needs things in there. It needs fibers, it needs kind of change ups. A good example I have is if you cut out beef, which is not a bad thing to do. Don't take it that way. But if you come back to beef, say a year later, it tears you up because you don't have the gut biome,
you don't have the
enzymes to
enzymes.
break that down and make it used efficiently. That's why it feels like it's ripping through you, because your body's like, let's get this out of here, because this is not exactly what we know how to work with right now.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people will do that also with like whey protein or something, or egg whites even. They'll drink, 4 to 6 scoops of whey protein every day, and that's like, half their intake. And then, their body will either get allergic to it or they won't process it, well. Same thing.
And I think you can keep it simple very easily. Morning, eggs. You don't need to do pork products. You don't need to. It's some people do beef in the morning, but at minimum eggs. Do your whey protein shake. Lunch, you can do your chicken. Dinner, try and change it up. Try and make it rotating. Do chicken, shrimp, fish, things like those. Try and keep it a little bit more diverse. You can still do those whey proteins and everything. I think a good question would be for people who are like vegetarians. Vegans, I have no idea what to do with you. Vegetarians, I think a lot of them lean heavy on whey, so it becomes a pillar for their protein. So if you were thinking of ways, could you have anything off the top of your head for more protein besides obviously one scoop of peanut butter is worth 7 eggs, according to what was that one thing a while ago?
Game changers or whatever. Yeah. Oh my God, terrible. I think what I've been doing is egg whites. That's been a big chunk of my protein intake, and I'll do 2 big servings of that a day, which kind of leads into our next one.
What a transition.
Yeah, that's a good easy protein source. I drink them, and that's a good way to get protein in quickly, similar to the shakes. The reason I started doing that is because I couldn't drink any more protein shakes because I would have had issues. So different protein source, more enzymes, able to digest it.
So the egg whites.
Yes.
This is one of the funnier things that we've kind of got. It started out as like one of those things like, I'm doing this not for the memes, like it works, but I'm doing it because now it's become a bit of a fad thing people are doing because it works.
We started a movement.
There's a movement, and and to our number one donor, Return Persinia, he had it was like the tall one of the egg whites. It was like I think it was like a liter, whatever it is.
Was it what color? Green?
It was the one you do.
Okay.
Yeah, and he takes it out of the fridge, and he's like, "Yeah, I've been crushing these." I was like, "Make sure you're getting biotin." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "That is a great question."
Well, he said answered on the show. He's like, "Yeah."
We decided we're gonna go ahead and double down because it makes sense. What's the downside? If it doesn't make you sick, if it's easy to digest, it's surprisingly easy to digest. You're just crushing protein. It makes your life easier. What could be going wrong?
So there is a downside, and it's that eggs are in nature. There's no egg whites by itself, so they actually come together with the yolk in the egg. Like a regular egg. So what that has is the yolk itself is where all the nutrients and the minerals and vitamins come from. And when you take in egg whites without the yolk, you're missing the biotin that is needed to help digest the protein, especially when you're taking a large amount like we are. So you'll actually pull biotin from other places in your body. Like I notice if I don't take biotin while I drink my egg whites, I'll actually get more brittle nails.
Yeah.
So they'll start to get chipped and everything at the ends. So then I'll jump on biotin. I just take 1 or 2 a day, the easy dissolve ones, and it covers that base.
Yeah, they're like little tiny, like the fish oil. They're tiny little nibs. There's 2 types. There's the stronger ones, the lighter ones. It really doesn't matter. Just take the number that you think is going to be work for you. It'll say on the bottle how many you should take for your weight and stuff. They're not expensive. They're easy. If you're having issues with your nails, if you're like me and you're slowly losing your hair, these are all things that will make you better in those regards. It's better for your skin. It's better for your nails. It's better for your hair. There's there's no quick way to get a whole lot of protein. Like there had to be a downside.
Yeah.
And really that's not a bad downside. Just take one extra supplement.
Right.
They're like the size of a Tic Tac, so it's not like you're swallowing a horse pill or anything.
Yeah, you can get the dissolvable ones too.
Yeah.
Those are easy.
Super, super cheap, not a big issue. Just add it to your regular thing. If you're already taking a daily and your fish oil and all that stuff, just add it to your meds you're taking normally. That is definitely something that you should put in. And also you should be taking fish oil and stuff. That's a whole other conversation because, mercury and stuff, but biotin doesn't have that issue. Don't need to worry about it.
Yep.
Definitely need to have it in there.
So take your biotin, guys.
Take your biotin.
Yeah.
Take your biotin so you don't end up like me. This is another question we've talked about several times, and I think it always is worth talking about again, because especially as you're getting new, or you're new to say, I'm working out, it's working for me, but now I want to get big, but I also don't want to be a big old tubby.
Yeah.
How do you lean bulk? Is that real?
It's only real in certain circumstances. Either like someone who's newer getting back in, or someone who's getting back into it when they're making fast progress because they're like going from untrained to trained, or it works like if you get yourself to a very lean, like underfed place where your body wants to put on calories to like regain weight, basically. So like a fighter or boxer or like gymnast or any of those people who cut weight, when they, the day after they're cutting, when they start eating again, their body can and is set up to be in a position to lean bulk, basically put weight back on without putting fat back on too.
Yeah.
So that's like it's a very hard. It's basically like you're trying to refuel an airplane mid-flight. That's what you're doing.
That is, I love that. Refuel a plane in mid-flight, because it's it is an advanced skill, what described as a lean bulk. And it is dieting, changing your body composition is as much art as it is science. And if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have the proper resource, if you don't have the proper health or help or we'll say assistance or knowledge base, you are going to have trouble. So when we talk about like movie stars, like, oh, Hugh Jackman went from this size to this size, or who's the guy from Batman? Why am I forgetting his name? Christian Bale. Christian Bale went from like, oh, he was super fat, then he was in The Mechanist, he was tiny, then he went huge for Batman. It's like, yeah, he has millions of dollars, he has like a team that's like controlling it every single time, because you're riding you're balancing, you're on a balance beam, and that balance beam gets really thin. On which side you get to, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to stay as fueled as possible to maintain what you have, with a little bit more to gain properly.
Small surplus.
Is it doable? Yes. Is it viable? Maybe not. That's not me saying don't do that. It's me saying have really temper your expectations, and if you don't have a immense knowledge base or a lot of experience with it, hire somebody. There's people for that. They exist. They'll help you do it. It's doable. It's just difficult, and there is help. And it takes, actually, I would say that even people who are really good at cutting and gaining, that is the amount of paying attention you have to do. Because you could say all day, like, yeah, I can cut or gain, become buff, and then lose that weight again. But it's like, okay, cool, but now you like can't gain any fat. Like even people who are really good, people who've been to shows, it's like, okay, it's like an ask. Yeah,
it's hard to do because, when people are bulking, they want more freedom and relaxation from their diet, when really you don't really have that. You're in one way or the other, either pushing food above what you would prefer to eat, which is work itself, or you're restricting food because you can't overeat and gain extra fat depending on your metabolism. So you'll go through phases of both. And I'd say like what you need to do, just like as simple as the way possible, is you have to cut down to a low body fat percentage, like 12 or less percent body fat as a guy, or for a girl, 18 or less percent. Once you're in that lower body fat percentage range, you slowly start to add calories from carbs and protein, a little bit of fat, like maybe 100 to 200 calories every 2 to 3 weeks. You do that for months. And over the process of 6 to 12 months, you will slowly add weight and increase calories without adding fat.
Yeah.
That's simple as most reductionist way possible I can answer that.
And to bring it to reality just for a moment, if you're not doing this for a very specific reason, like maybe it like involves your job somehow, there's a reason that bulking seasons exist, the shred season exists, like there's sweater weather. Like plan your year out. Like when does it matter if you have those shreds? Like is this like you have a goal in mind, or do you just want to be a better person overall? That's you just have to ask yourself what your goals are. Do you have like a wedding coming up? Is it coming up to like spring break? Those kinds of things. Plan around it, make it happen. It's you can make your life a lot easier. It doesn't have to be the world's most difficult thing if it doesn't need to be. Which actually leads us into our next question, which is the opposite question. What is a good fat burner? Which I think is a broader question than I think they meant when they asked it, because there's a lot of ways to look at that question.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I would say like the best fat burner as far as a stimulant would probably have to be, that actually works, would have to be ECA stack or Clen, which are like both sketchy supplements.
Hydroxycut is gone, boys. Yeah, for the ECA stack, just 2 comments I have. I've done a lot of research on this because as a part of the Thick Boy Nation, the A, which is Advil or Aleve, whatever it is, you don't necessarily need that. It's actually the part that makes it the most, we'll call air quotes sketchy, because I don't really think it's that sketchy. If you want to look into it, Hydroxycut was basically banned because one dude took like 18 of them and he was really overweight and his heart stopped. It's probably going to happen anyways.
And he was running.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways. Do your research, talk to your doctor, be safe, all of that stuff. Also, we had this discussion when I was looking into it. It's like it needs to be paired with cardio most of the time.
Yeah.
If you just take it in the morning and go to work, it's like, congratulations, your heart rate's up a little bit. Maybe you're a little warmer.
You burn maybe 200 more calories.
You're sweating, but really the idea is that it's used with cardio so that your body is able to reach a temperature.
That's a good point. The reason why it works so well is because not only does it slightly increase your calorie burn for the day, which is probably the less effective component, the more effective component is that it allows you to access fat easier and more effectively while you're doing cardio, which has a greater impact on reducing fat, especially in those hard to get areas. So that Yohimbe, HCl, and clenbuterol, all 3 of those, well, it's basically, of the ECA stack, it's the ephedra that is the chemical. Those 3 things are known to help access and target that hard to get fat.
And there's a reason we bring those up, because there's things that first of all, we're not your doctor.
Yeah.
Don't look at me that way. I'm not your doctor.
You're on risk. We're not recommending anything.
Things like Fit Teas, that's just making you shit yourself. It is what it is.
Basically.
The things like where you rub it on your belly and then you put like a strap on, that doesn't work. That's not how it works. You have an epidermis. It's there to protect you and your fat body from the outside forces. There's nothing you're going to rub on your skin that's going to make fat go away. And if you guys find it, tell me about it and I'll say I'm wrong, but I really don't think I will be. Things like that don't work. These things do, and there's, you make sure you do it correctly, make sure you take it seriously. Hydroxycut existed. It worked. It was a real thing. And right. And some people look into it yourself. It was one of those things that got nixed for dubious reasons, I think. But safety first. Not everyone needs to do it. It is not the solution. If you just take that and think you're going to lose weight, you might end up as somebody who's fat dude taking 8 of them and dying and getting everyone in trouble. But as far as fat burners that aren't stimulant based, I love these new TikTok, Instagram trends where people are like, this food is a natural fat burner.
Oh yeah.
Does that exist? Is that real? Like, am I going to take a bunch of turmeric and I'm going to burn fat?
Well, they're overhyping and exaggerating. So here's the thing. Fats have different amounts of work that needs to be done. Foods have different amount of works that would need to be done before it can be digested. Carbs and you lose about 10% of the calories in digestion produced as heat. That's why, like, if you eat a bunch of carbs on Thanksgiving, you feel hot and you're all like, oh, I'm sweaty. Yeah. Now, meat is also...
Get the meat sweats.
Well, protein is like the meat sweats. That's another one. Protein, 20% is used as calories, as burned through metabolism as heat as well. So carbs are 10%, protein is 20%. Fat is like 1%.
Yeah.
So if you eat foods that are high in protein and high in carbs, especially those fibrous carbs, then you're eating something that's going to raise your temperature and cause you to burn more calories through metabolic heat. So technically, they are fat burners because you net less calories.
Technically.
So yeah, I would say like one of the most popular ones would be like turkey and like bell peppers, because the ground turkey is going to raise your temperature, and the bell peppers are like not very unprocessed carbs that your body's going to have to work to.
It's going to have to work for.
Yeah.
And yeah, the things that I venture away from the concepts of building heat in your body to lose weight, because a lot of people are like, if you just put cayenne on everything.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not really how that works. And also, you're going to just build a resistance to it, and the capsaicin's not going to heat you up that much anymore. It's just, it's kind of silly. Just because you feel hot doesn't mean you're losing weight. Just because you're sweating doesn't mean you're losing weight. That would mean that literally no one in Arizona or Florida would be fat, because we're all just hot. It is hot outside, so why would we be fat? Think of the logic there. And I think about like the only weight loss food, it's like celery. Because it takes more energy to eat it than the calories it gives you. It's like,
that's just for sure one.
Get that volume. Don't put peanut butter on it. That defeats the purpose.
Honestly, like I think this goes into one of our questions. Let's see. Where's that protein one?
What is the protein one?
Is it okay to overeat protein? Well, that's actually, let's just answer that one with this. Yes, it's okay to overeat protein, because protein has that metabolic effect of requiring 20% of the calories to be burnt off in order to process it. So and it's actually recommended that people who are trying to have a leaner body fat composition overeat protein, so that you will use what you need, obviously, for repair, rebuilding, and calories. And then if you are in excess, a good chunk and portion of that will go to, metabolic momentum as opposed to body fat. So it's much harder to turn protein over into body fat because of how hard it is to deal with.
It's also an interesting problem to worry about because it's such a hard goal to hit in the first place. So even if you're going 1-to-1 for body weight and you're a lighter person, it's like, oh, well, I only weigh 130. It's like, yeah, that's a lot more achievable, especially if you have the appetite for it. I used to know somebody who was a nutritionist for the ASU football team, and they would do urinalysis for nutrition and health reasons, not for like drug tests. And there was actually football players that they would do piss tests for, and they would have such high protein buildup that you could see it floating in their urine.
Wow.
And they were like, okay, is that a problem? And like, not technically, except from like a kidney stone perspective, but they were taking it. These are like offensive linemen, just taking in like massive quantities of protein. And again, I wouldn't recommend you take so much protein that you're pissing out protein particles. But with that said, the goal that you're going for, if you're eating as much protein as an offensive lineman, you should probably be talking to like an actual nutritionist. You should probably be like working with a team of sorts, because that's pretty crazy. Like that's where you're
probably eating at least 500 grams a day.
Yeah, that's impressive all the time.
I mean, someone like me who weighs 185 pounds, I'm eating at least 300 grams right now.
Damn.
A day, which is definitely more than 1 gram per pound of body weight.
Next time you go pee, just get real close to the toilet, see if you got any floaters.
I mean, here's the thing. It's helping me stay leaner while still being able to eat more calories.
Yeah.
Which is, a goal of, someone in their off season trying to add muscle and weight. Even if you're trying to cut weight, you could still eat more calories and hold on to more muscle by overeating protein than by eating enough protein.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Here, we're gonna go to a quick break. We have a few more questions to answer, and we will see you in just a moment. As always, thanks for watching, guys. You can find us on Instagram at BNS_radio. You can find us on all of your podcast apps. You can find us on YouTube. Check it out. You can see our bright and smiling faces. As for socials go, you can find me on Instagram at Demitry Sebastian.
You can find me at WKendall_MFT. Please send us your listener questions.
Listener questions, please. You've made it this far. Ask a question. Are you not curious about anything?
Yes.
But we'll get back to the listener questions we already have.
Ask me about my Bitcoin.
That's actually something I'd be willing to do.
Yeah.
Back to the show.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, guys. For the first question is actually one that I love. It's near and dear to my heart because it's a question of how miserable do I need to be? It's how much cardio do I really need?
Yes.
And I guess that, again, is a great question because it covers a couple areas of what are you trying to do?
Yeah, like where are you? Who's asking the question?
Yeah.
Everything like that.
Well, we can break it into a couple things. We'll say how much cardio do I need to do if I'm trying to, we'll say like we're talking about with we're trying to shred down, but we're trying to not lose muscle. Like how much cardio are we doing?
More than you're doing.
That's what how dare you? Me? Yeah. Okay, actually, that's a good point because a lot of people they do 15 minutes on the stair mill and they're like, well, this sucks. I feel like I've burned a lot of fat. So what is more? What do you think is comfortable?
There's a couple ways you can add progression in cardio. If you're trying to, like, say you're at a maintenance cardio amount currently, or like just enough for health, which is about 2 to 3 a week, for like 20 to 30 minutes. That's usually what's recommended to like be a healthy person who isn't like at risk for heart attacks and, you know, bad bloods and things like that. So that, you know, is where you should be, like, if you're not trying to lose weight. Say you are trying to lose weight, then I would like start, you know, adding 2 sessions in of like 20 minutes, or say you're doing slow, easy cardio, upping like 2/3 of that to like more intense cardio.
Okay.
So one of the 2 things that I just mentioned, that's what I'd recommend doing.
And then if you're trying to be just a fast boy, if you want to be, you know, in the military, if you want to be a cop, if you want to be a firefighter, if you want to be somebody who can run away from their problems, it becomes a question of like, do you want to be a long distance guy? Do you want to be a sprinter? And these are all things you can find online. But in a general sense, like 3 times a week is typically what I've usually seen work. For if you're going really crazy, you can do like 5 to 7 if you know you want to go with the David Goggins.
You can go 10 cardios a week.
Yeah, right.
Like on prep or something.
If you want to go crazy, just make sure you're feeding properly so that you're not, you know, destroying your legs, destroying your muscles. It's anyone who says it's like, oh, running's bad for your knees, squatting's bad for your knees, it's like they're probably fat. Like there's very few people that do a lot of running and they're very fit that are talking about how their knees are ruined from running or whatever. And if you are hurting your knees, you're stomping, and that's not good running form.
Yeah, there's other options. There's bikes. There's electric pools, treadmills, pools.
And if you want to look it up, this is things you can find on YouTube very easily. Run like a ninja. That's what I was told. Like, if you can hear yourself running, like, are you running in a way that, like, someone can hear you down the block? It's like you're stomping too much.
Maybe you need some new shoes.
And trust me, running shoes are more expensive than you think. If you're spending, like, $40 at Big Five on some fly nets, then they're probably not very good shoes. My shoes are like $100. I wear Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
wearing Nikes.
Yeah, they're like running shoes. It's, you know, for things that go under you.
I'm wearing Crocs.
Yeah, we're running. Throw them in a sport mode. You run down the block, you're gonna be the fastest man on earth. So things like that. I always recommend to people, if you just want to have a roundabout good running thing, couch to 5K. Is without a doubt. I know people laugh at it. They're like, oh, 5K. It's crazy. It's way better than you think it is. It has a lot to do with your own intensity. They just give you timers. They just say, like, you're going to run this much, you're going to walk this much. By the end of it, you're going to be constantly running, and you will get better. It's all about doing it more. Running with people, especially outdoors, makes everything way better. Find a friend who also doesn't want to be a slob anymore and say, like, hey, do you want to, like, do this with me? And it's infinitely better, because running by yourself sucks. Doing the stair mill by yourself sucks. Cardio alone is garbage. We're
into a family that does 5Ks on the weekends.
If you become the 5K at Thanksgiving, just make sure that you're not doing it to people like me.
Yeah,
I'll go running with you. Do not take me to a turkey trot.
What if you met the perfect girl and her family ran 5Ks every Thanksgiving, would that be a deal breaker?
If she's perfect, no, but I will complain.
Yeah,
I'll make a problem of it. Like, that's one of those things. That's what people seem to think. It's like, oh, well, you know, you have to be happy. No, I don't. No, I do not. I will be very unpleasant the entire time, and then be like, I'll be running with them, and like, this is dumb. This is a waste of time. You're ruining my holiday. And they'll be like, well, I can't be with you, and it's like, well, then I can't be with you. Like, we're compromising. It's called compromise.
You already thought this out.
Exactly. No, this is a question I've been asked before, and for a long time it was no.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, if I'm allowed to ruin it for you, you can ruin my day, then we're good. That's how I am with the military. It's how I am with everything. It's like, I will work for you. I'll make things happen. Just let me whine.
Give me that one thing.
Give me that one thing. Yeah, it's all great. We're all, you know, we were originally nomadic people traveling across the land, chasing down buffalo, chasing down mammoths. Yeah. Like, we were built to run at a decent pace and chit chat about stuff.
Persistence runners.
We've been doing it forever.
Running our mouths.
So yeah, there's the how much cardio we need is a good question. I do love the response. Not enough, but it's if you're having the problem where you're like doing body scans, you're doing a lot of cardio, and like, wow, my muscles going down. It's like, first of all, you're a badass. you're running hard as hell. Good for you. Maybe roll it back a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and guess that most people that ask that question just don't have that problem.
Yeah, it's probably like 10%.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have. I work too hard. I'm just too handsome. I'm too successful. Yeah. I love it. What does fiber do besides make poopies?
Well, it does help with that. Let's like not talk about the help push stuff out of your colon aspect.
That's my favorite part.
It does do that.
That's my favorite part.
But what else does it do? So fiber is, and that's why it's usually included in our carb meals, is it helps protect the speed at which your blood sugar rises after eating carbs. So that's what I wanted to go for on this one, because it can do a lot of things. But what it does is it provides like a protective barrier and gel around your liver, which is where all the carbs need to go after you digest them, and it slows down how quickly they can enter your liver. Doing this makes it so your blood sugar doesn't skyrocket and then crash, and you get like the shakies and then the tireds. So
the shakies and the tireds are a lifestyle. That's there's a whole commercial that was talking about. It was selling like these cookies are healthy. It's like, shut up. First, full stop. Shut up. But they always talk about the 3 o'clock crash.
Yeah.
It's like because your lunch is garbage.
Yeah, your lunch is fried and breaded and also had a bunch of carbs, and then you got insulin and you didn't have enough fiber, which is what we're talking about. And that's why I got tired after lunch.
You can even go and get yourself one. You can get you know, my favorite thing is when people get the salads at lunch, but they're like the buffalo chicken salads with like basically chicken tenders on the salad.
Calorie salad.
And I'm like, you know, I know that doesn't fit in your daily calories, but it's like you can see that there's like a median here. There's a middle ground. You can, if you get the fiber in, and maybe instead of breaded chicken, it's like just normal chicken.
Yeah.
It's a Caesar salad. Go to a Salad and Go. Love that place. Might go right after this. Ooh. Stuff like that. It's you can still get your protein. You can still have a satisfactory time to your day, but it's like getting that fiber in. It just like you're not going to have the crash. It's always funny when people start dieting. There's like, I just feel like lighter. I feel like I'm not heavy. I feel like I have energy. It's like, yeah, because you're not fighting again. You're not creating yourself into a daily diabetic.
You're eating more vegetables probably, which is why you're getting more fiber. So this is like a real example that I experienced with it. So I have a pretty carb heavy breakfast before I train, and I'm eating like 80 grams of carbs just in breakfast, which is a lot. My coach has me eating blueberries with my cream of rice.
We love bloobs.
So what happens is the days, say I run out of blueberries and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to eat my 80 grams just of the cream of rice. Then I do that. I get a carb crash. I get like, sweaty. I get, oh my God, I'm high blood sugar, then low blood sugar, get sleepy afterwards. But if I eat my blueberries with my cream of rice, then I don't get that at all because the fiber slows everything down and makes it work.
Yep. And for the Thick Boy Nation, the girls and boys, we're inclusive here in the Thick Boy Nation. Bulk. When you are someone who is hungry all the time,
that's a good point.
Fiber is your friend. If you can find yourself a dressing that is low in fats, low in sugar, something that's not going to mess up your day, or plan for it accordingly, and you just get yourself a nice big salad, like right before dinner time comes up. Maybe if you're going to go out with friends or something, you know that you have like a little bit of a compulsive issue with like, hey, this is a cheat day for me and everything, but I still don't want to like go insane. Eat a salad before you go there, and you're not going to be as hungry. It's shocking. It's one of those things that it is a hack. It is something I've seen, like all the people I know that have they're usually like cops or military people. It's like, I need to lose some weight. Like we're coming up on height and weight. Yeah. Like what do? It's like the salads come out. The salads come out because you can't. So they always make the joke about like, oh, this many calories of blank is versus this many calories of broccoli. Yeah. It's like, yeah, good luck eating that 3 pounds of broccoli.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
It's like you can't beat the trees. You can't beat the trees. They will beat you first. So you just eat a bunch of that.
Takes up space, slows you down.
And if you're someone who doesn't have the issue with like eating too much, like don't worry about too much, eat it when you want to. But if you're like me and the concept of being full comes about 30 minutes too late and then suddenly you're dying on the floor, eat that salad. It'll protect you a little bit, give you a little bit of a buffer so that you're already like, your body has now gotten the message like, oh, there's things in here. We're not going to die.
Right.
So
good point. Take up space in the stomach.
Exactly. It's less, and then you get great poopies. And that's what it's all about. It comes full circle. Yep. It's all about great poopies. You want it to look like an S curve. You don't want it to be rabbits. You don't want it to be soft. Nice S curve. That's health.
Yeah, it can't be too wet.
If it's a weird color, if it's orange, if it's green, you have too many fats in your diets. Yes. What was that? What was that diet stuff? Ally or whatever it was. Ali.
Oh,
where it blocked your ability to absorb fats.
Oh yeah, the anal leakage one.
Yeah, anal leakage. Yeah. Everyone's just leaking fats out of their back end. Orange poops
coming straight out. Yeah.
Exactly. Fiber will do that for you, but you get the S curve. It's
keto
great.
Will do that for you.
I'll stand by keto before I stand by ally. We had one more, and this is my favorite question of the day, really, and it was, is it okay to fast all day so that I can drink in the evening to avoid excess calories?
Okay. To avoid excess calories, I mean, yeah, I guess it's okay. I don't see how doing that by like limiting, your normal intake during the day would be any different. But yeah, it depends. Like if you think that you can replace your nutritional requirements with alcohol calories, then would not be okay. That's where it becomes not okay.
That is why I like the question, because I think it's a question that when it's asked, it sounds like, hey, I'm being reasonable.
Yeah.
But you have to ask yourself, it's like, oh, I'm just going to do a little heroin. It's fine. I'm not an addict. It's like, no, you in the question you're asking, it presumes that there's a problem there. It's like, okay, were you planning on drinking so much that you're going to exceed your calories? Like maybe we'll talk more about having like cheat days installed into your schedule, stuff like that. Okay. Do you drink to such excess that, it just can't work, period? Is it something that, I remember being like in college where you're like, I'm a broke college kid. If I skip dinner, I'm going to get drunk faster. Right. Things like that. And don't do that. It's not safe. It's also dumb.
Way too drunk.
That's how you get hangovers. That's how you make bad decisions. Yeah. When you're asking questions like that, it becomes, okay, should I be planning better? Should I be setting myself more cheat days, or maybe doing better with sticking with my cheat days? Or am I maybe having a negative relationship with alcohol entirely, which is a whole different can of worms that you need to look into and kind of take care of. But
I think you can fit a reasonable amount of drinks into a week if you plan out.
You do it.
Yeah.
You're one of the best with it. And also it's you got to ask, are you a beer person?
Yeah.
If you really want to get with the shreds, I'm sorry, you might not get to really be a beer person anymore.
Tito's and soda.
Tito's and soda. Vodka's your friend. Tequila's your friend.
There's a reason.
Oh my God.
All the in-shape people drink tequila. There's a reason.
Don't trust MyFitnessPal. It lies. There's a bunch of people you're allowed to just put stuff in. It's like Wikipedia back in the day where they're like, don't trust Wikipedia. You can put anything. I have seen so many posts of like, because I'm a big gin guy. Yeah. If I'm trying to enter something, just like do some math or whatever, it's like gin, 0 calories. Like, liar.
That's not true.
You're a liar. You're doing this because you have a problem and you're lying. I've seen some crazy stuff in there, actually.
It's like 1 calorie, or it has like 9 grams of protein or something. It's like,
I was trying to like find like the calories for like a burger patty once. I don't even know. I was doing something dumb, but it basically came out to being like cheeseburger, 100 calories. And I was just like, where are you? What?
Yeah.
I was like, who put this in here, and why is it popular enough that it's this high on the search
per bite?
Exactly. It's like, so be careful with that stuff. Alcohol's calories. What is it, like 60?
75.
75 carbs?
Yeah, 75.
So
it's 7 calories per gram compared to carbs and protein, which are 4 calories per gram, and then fat is 9 calories per gram.
Yes, and it is not a good 75 calories. It's not
a nutritional 75 calories.
Yeah, it's just not the way to do it. Plan it out. Be responsible. Think about it. Alcohol's great. I'm a fan, but if you want to be serious about your health, your diet, your weight, and everything, like it might just be something you either need to like knock off a little bit, or maybe get rid of it entirely. Your call. Mm-hmm. Is that all we had? Is that all the questions?
That's all the ones I had.
Great. Well, It's awesome to be back, guys.
Yes.
I missed you.
Glad to be back.
It's always wonderful to see you here.
Quinn missed us.
Quinn has been staring at us from behind the camera. Elias wasn't able to join us. He's stuck at a baseball game. We miss him. It was one of those mandatory fun things. Turns out Chick-fil-A's run a lot like the military.
Yeah, mandatory fun.
They have mandatory fun. So he misses you guys too.
Obligations.
Yeah. We will be back on our regular schedule. You'll be finding me more on the Instagram. We'll be posting. We'll be having things happening. It is a wonderful world we live in, as always. At BNS_radio on the Instagram, BNS_radio on YouTube. It's across the board. Find it. Podcast. Listen to it. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. At Demitry Sebastian on Instagram for me.
WKendall_MFT. 谢谢。
谢谢。 Wei Shangchang.